Host Derek here, host Talking with Famous People. I'm here with host Zachary, and I proposed the topic along with, I should mention as well, we've got famous people, Lorenz Walker and Files Guys in the chat here. And the topic is things other people expect us to want to do, but that we don't want to do, or things that other people like to do that we don't like to do, and that people are like, why don't you like to do that? I'll start. Family barbecue.
Oh god, I hate that shit.
Don't like it.
I hate that shit. Mostly because I have a really big family and I don't know any of them. And none of them are really, to me, I see my family as the people who put in the time and effort to be interested in me and individual. Just because I have relations with someone through genetics does not make them my family.
Well, I don't mind going to my parents' house and eating there if they're barbecuing. It's just my parents and me and Delilah. But
Oh well, that's different.
yeah,
I'm
right.
very
We're
different.
both talking about the same thing. The big family barbecue. Candace's family had them all the time. I was expected to go. I was expected to execute a series of social protocols, including making lots of small talk. I get bored too, Files guys. That's the problem. She wouldn't let me have my kind of fun there. She wouldn't let me like go interview people and mess with shit, you know?
Yeah, I'd love to
Appropriate
ask you
small
like
talk.
your opinions on politics.
Right. That's inappropriate small talk, Eric. So, okay, what's another thing? I said family barbecues. What's another thing what's something you don't like to do that other people think you should or want you to do?
Driving. I hate driving. Fucking hate driving.
I'm pretty burned out on myself right now. I had a driving heavy day. Um,
How long were you driving today?
I was on the road from before 3, and I didn't actually get home from my errand until after 6.
Yeah, fuck that. I couldn't handle that.
I was going on to Long Beach and come back. Long Beach is only 25 miles away, but in rush hour, that's how long it takes. It was a nightmare.
Yeah, see, even in like rush hour here, I imagine rush hour here is the equivalent of regular there, right?
Of non-rush hour.
If I go out at like 5 a.m., there is no one. It's complete empty roads.
Really?
hmm There
I
might be a
thought
few here and there, but if I
maybe
go out like
Christmas
3 a.m.,
Day. And Christmas Day in LA, like 5 a.m., there might not be anybody driving around.
what's your opinion on holidays? You enjoy holidays, you feel, as much as other people?
No, I don't like holidays.
I do.
You do.
Yeah. I Halloween, every year at Halloween, I have this ritual where just I will compile a bunch of horror movies, like old school horror movies. Like last year, I think I watched Nosferatu, Carnival of Souls. I watched the old Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Basically, it's just like this ritual where I just sit alone and I just watch movies all night long, and it's like the greatest activity ever. It's the best thing. I look forward to it every single year. Never miss it. It's amazing.
I like Christmas. I like Christmas decorating. I like getting a tree. It's something I always do with Delilah. My parents always did it with me. My parents were, atheists, are atheists, but my mom was big on Christmas and Thanksgiving. And when I was little, Easter too. I'd get an Easter basket. But
I
what
I
turned me against holidays is my ex-wife, who wanted me to fucking think Arbor Day was the most sacred occasion in history or something, you know?
No, I only Halloween and Christmas are really the only two times in the year that I hold as any significance. And with Christmas, I mean, for my parents, it's way more significance the whole religious thing and whatnot. But I didn't realize until I watched my little niece, who my brother's daughter, until I watched her open presents. I never realized that it's so much more fun for the older generations to watch the younger kids get excited than it is to like get your own excitement, you know? Like it's so fun watching them be so surprised and just so like amazed, like, oh my god, I can't believe it, you know?
It's the same thing with debate. You think debate's cool when you're debating, but it's nothing like coaching. Coaching debate's way cooler because you know you can see it. You see the kids crying or ecstatic, and you know they're doing something they care about.
It's your day job, pretty much, right? Your day job is pretty much like. I mean, I think there's a significance to like coaching and having some sort of personal experience with it. And Boss Guys, about the dressing up as a cowboy or nurse. This year I'm gonna dress up as the man with no name, Clint Eastwood.
Files,
I
guys,
got the eyes.
that's a hell of a sentence right there. We got to go back to Files, guys' last awesome sentence before she said awesome. That's a hell of a sentence. And very true. Adults don't remember how to care. To really care about shit.
That's true.
Why? Because their soul's been hammered into submission by a life of fucking jobs and employment. Following rules. Putting up with dehumanization. Not me. I got candy. Two different kinds of candy.
I'm trying to think of other things that people love that I camping.
I love camping.
You know, in the abstract, I love it. And to be fair, it's been a while since I've gone. But in the abstract, when I think about camping, I think of like, oh, it sounds great, you know, like just out in the wilderness, you know, you got some buddies around, and just, you know, you get to like hang out around the campfire, and it's just like a good time. Now, compare that to the reality where it's like you're sitting in an uncomfortable lawn chair, the fire is too fucking hot, people are talking about shit you don't want to talk about. It's cold out unless you sit next to the furnace of a fire you have going on. It's uncomfortable sleeping on the ground. You're bored out of your fucking mind. That's always my experience camping. Very yeah. Yeah. When I was
Well,
younger, my parents went camping. I would bring my like Game Boy Advance and shit. I would like escapism into that, you know.
I think that's probably an NTP thing, this despising of discomfort. I don't like discomfort either. I want my camping to be, but see, camping doesn't have to be uncomfortable. Camping, when it's done right, it's you've you've accounted for the discomforts, and you know you don't need you don't need to do a whole hell of a lot to be comfortable sleeping at night in the wilderness. Reasonably comfortable. I usually take not just a sleeping bag, but underlying pad, make it more comfortable. I've gone camping by myself once or twice before too, with me and Lacey, and that's a very different experience. Very different. I found myself I ended up just writing a whole bunch because I couldn't sit still. I didn't know what to do with myself.
Yeah. I think that's a Yeah, I hate being uncomfortable. I fucking hate being uncomfortable. And also, you wake up the next day and you can't shower and all that shit. That bothers me. I don't know. I just
I'm fine with not showering.
it depends. It depends,
If
right?
you
I mean,
feel
if I'm
dusty,
sweating,
if you feel dusty and sweaty, then you're right. Yeah, you want to shower, but
hmm or if like you get all like sticky because you're making s'mores and it doesn't go as well as you think it's going to, and your hands get all fucking like messy, and you have to rub them in the dirt to get the stickiness off, and it's just like kill me.
are we recording this? What are we talking about here? Let me
We're
see
talking
if
about things that people like that we fucking despise.
oh yeah, that's right. Are we recording this? Let me see.
Hunting, oh my god. Until you've sat in a fucking like
A
what's it called,
burn.
a blind?
Oh,
Blind?
a blind, right?
Until you've sat in one of those for 10 hours straight waiting for the turkey that's not fucking coming. It's horrible. Awful.
well,
I mean, I'm wide awake. It's cold as shit. Okay, you can get up at like 4 a.m. in the morning so you can get out there before it's daylight so you have time. You're freezing your fucking ass off. You get out there and the person that's supposed to be with you is fucking passed out asleep and you're just sitting there freezing your ass off waiting for nothing. It's terrible. Why do people like that?
well, one of the things with NTPs though is if we were to do it ourselves, we hate being dragged along to shit when we're kids. But if
That's a
we
good point.
if we
I
set
never
something up
even considered
ourselves,
that that way.
and you're like, okay, I want to go hunting for something. I'm gonna think about how I want to hunt. Like for me, I might, in theory, want to go hunting someday. I never have, but if I did, I'd want to hunt a rabbit. I wouldn't want to hunt anything bigger than a rabbit. I would feel
No, no,
bad.
squirrel. Squirrel. You want to go squirrel hunting. That shit is just boom. Every fucking time, like every time you walk around the corner, it's just squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. You don't even have to fucking try. Just shit. Now, if you want to go turkey hunting, oh my god, that's when you fucking lose your mind. Don't go turkey hunting.
I'll keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure there are no turkeys around here, so I tell you what we have a shitload of now is coyotes.
After I went turkey hunting once, and I got back, and I was talking to my friend about it, and we got in an argument because he was trying to claim that turkeys don't fly. I literally went turkey hunting and saw one fly because I shot at it. And he's sitting there arguing with me. He is completely convinced that turkeys do not fly, and he will not concede. When
You
like
know, the kind we eat don't. Store turkeys don't fly.
domestic turkeys do not fly.
Right, yeah, the
And I
kind
gave
that
him
you
that.
buy at the
I
store.
gave him that out. When he finally said that, I gave him that out, but I shouldn't have.
yeah, because you know why? Their breasts are too big. In fact, they're so inbred that if they look up when it's raining, they drown. Yeah, they have
Is that
to.
true?
That's what I've heard. You can fact check me if you want.
That's
Dumb,
crazy. That
dumb
cannot be
inbred
true.
domesticated turkeys drown if you leave them out in the rain.
That cannot be true. Oh my god. I gotta fact check that right now.
All right, we're gonna. I will wait and stop this video until after Zachary fact checks this. Let's see if I'm lying, misinformed, or correct.
This article, are domesticated turkeys so lacking in intelligence that they will look at a falling rain until they drown? Status, false.
Ah,
The
I'm
notion
glad.
that
I'm
none,
glad somebody else had heard about it. At least I didn't just make it up out of thin air, right?
it's one of those city boy myths.
Okay, City Boy Myth.
One of those city boy myths.
What is it? Can you give me a little more details on it? Does it say more than just false?
Let's see what it says. Um, it does have some marginally related aspects of truth. Domesticated turkeys are not necessarily stupid, but because they have been bred in captivity for so many generations, they lack the survival skills of their wild cousins. They're weak, they're fat, they're not agile, they can't run very fast, and they can't fly. All this makes it more difficult for them to survive on their own. So when something unusual occurs, such as a storm, they tend to panic. Frightened domestic turkeys will usually run as best they can until they reach a corner of fence or some other barrier to progress. But even then, they may continue their efforts to escape, pillowing onto each other and possibly suffocating those at the bottom of the heap. Um, they're basically just super vulnerable to accidents
Hmm.
because they have no survival skills.
But not to drowning by looking up in the rain.
That's fucking hilarious. That shit is so funny to me. Just imagine, like, they're so fascinated by the
Yeah,
rain
true.
that they just fucking drown, like, looking up at it. That shit would be so funny.
Alright, let's stop this
Animals
video.
dying.
Here we
Good
go.
stuff.
I'm going to stop this with the Piao right here.
Ian, you can hop in any time, man. We're just, like, sitting here shooting the shit. I'm gonna go take a piss, get some coffee.
Thanks for watching Chocolate Fast People.